Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve. Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Steve.
It's your boy Eric.
We're all
Yo.
live on all the platforms: Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. So if you guys are in there, say what's up. This is gonna be one of our
So
live streams, but we will record it, post it on the tube, just in case anybody misses the live streams. We can still interact with you guys. Firstly, we're gonna kick it off with some NBA action. But before we do that,
yeah.
I'll ask E how his day was going. Make sure everything's good.
Man, just chilling, man. Getting right. We just finished a 3-4 hour stream
Yep.
on Marvel Rivals. Trying to get to, you know, what was it? We're in Diamond One. We're trying to get to Grandmaster. So, grinding that,
Yeah, it's a little tough with some of the Randys we run into, but yeah, it's a fun game. It's enjoyable.
very fun game.
I can definitely say every game is something new. I can assure that something always new has happened. It's not always the same thing, but yeah, we were grinding some rivals earlier before we launched this up. So again, if you want to tune into some rivals or even other games we might be playing later on the road, but right now we're just a little focused on rivals. But
Yep.
we can link our streaming platforms later on.
Below at the very end of the video, we'll link them down in our YouTube and stuff. If you want to drop in on our other live stream while we're gaming, you can always drop in and say what's up.
Yep. So I'm gonna
Steve,
let.
how was your day, man?
It was good. Went to work, did some work. I'm the sole man in the office right now, so it's a little challenging. I can say
Ah,
that.
shit.
Yeah, I got 3 people out right now, and there's total 5. So it was all right, but it's only gonna be like that till next week, so it's not too bad. Tomorrow's Friday, so it should be an early day, so it's not too bad. And then grinded some Marvel Rivals, was almost Grandmaster, then we lost a couple, and then I'm back kind of where I started. So that's just pretty much
How the
it.
cook crumbles on.
Yeah, and Marvel, yeah, definitely how it crumbles. But I'm gonna let E kick it off because we had a big night from Stephen Curry, who went
That man,
absolute berserk. So I'm gonna let
this
E
chef.
chef that up and tell y'all how that went, and then we're gonna dig into some of the other games. I think the Suns game just finished up, and I think Lakers and Minnesota are currently
Eh,
playing still, and they're in the
Yeah, they're in the
second quarter.
second quarter, about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, so
Lakers are Lakers are up 19.
damn. All right.
So we'll dive into that one at towards the tail end. We're gonna go a little bit around the NBA. Listen, if it's not a big game, not big playoff like implications right now, we'll dive into it a little bit, but not nothing too crazy. But the Warriors did beat the Magic 121 to 115. I mean, like we said, Chef Curry, I mean, he gets in one of those modes, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of scary, man. You could throw everybody on him and it don't matter. We've seen that man getting triple team half court sometimes. But like I said, Curry drops 56 points, 16 to 25 from the field and 12 from 19 from the 3-point line.
Sheesh.
Wow. Like I said, Curry 56 points. I mean, that's about half the team points right there. Butler, he struggled a little bit, but listen, again, that's the reason why you got Jimmy Butler. Curry's gonna have games like this where he goes off. Jimmy's gonna have an off night, but you can take that now with Jimmy Butler on this team. Draymond drops a double double. What I really want to talk to right now is Quinn Post. I mean, 18 points off the bench on 24 minutes. This guy's a 7 foot like shooter, marksman, shooting 40% from the 3-point line this season. I mean, wow. That guy, I mean, listen, if he could put it together, I mean, Draymond there being like a catalyst of just being that captain, kind of the soul of that team. Curry being the captain, Draymond being the soul of that team. I mean, he's in good hands with Jimmy Butler now too. But let's dive back into Curry, man. I mean, 12 3-pointers in the game.
Hmm.
He tied Klay Thompson for most 12 3-point games in history. Interesting stat from Curry as well. Since turning 30 years old, he has 9 50-point
Jesus,
games
that's
since
absurd.
turning 30. The second person on that list is Wilt with 7.
Oh, so he might get that when it's all said and done. To be honest.
No, he got it. Wilt has 7. Curry has 9.
Oh, so he passed Will.
Curry's in the league on his own right now. Like he's gone. I
Yeah.
mean, you
So
got MJ and Dame Lillard at 6. So listen, when
it's
you're in the company of Wilt and MJ and those guys like that, listen, that's pretty good company. But
yeah. And honestly, them.
Warriors 7-1 since picking up Jimmy Butler.
I mean, to
Like
be
I
honest,
said,
that's
they,
what I think. That's what they needed. I mean,
yup,
there. I mean, Jimmy is not like he's not gonna score a lot. You know, he's not gonna shoot the ball as good as well Clay used to do
Jimmy,
it. But he's gonna bring
yeah,
that defensive presence that they kind of needed. Because
yep,
Curry, he's a good off-ball defender and stuff like that. But he's not gonna go to their best offensive player and guard them. So having Jimmy
nope.
there, it takes a lot of pressure off Curry, and he can like actually run around because Jimmy can get
Yeah.
buckets when you need him to, especially when it comes to playoff times. Which
He's not like a like he could don't get me wrong, he could run the one, but he's not a ball stopper when he wants to be, right?
right.
Like if it's him, Curry, Draymond, that ball's gonna be moving.
Mm-hmm.
We got a chatter there on our Twitch chat. Hey cat.
Oh, welcome in, cat. First time chatter in the chat. Welcome. But
But yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's big.
having Jimmy, I think, was a huge boost to their team. And then, like you
Hmm.
said, if they can get that off their bench consistently, it's gonna be tough to beat them. Especially that right now they
I
may
think
be seeded in the eighth seed, and it looks like they
right
might
now, yeah,
play.
they'll be in the playoff. I
And
mean the
that's
playing.
right, and that's not a
So they will
team
go
I
against
want to play in the
T-Wolves.
play-in, to be honest.
Nope.
And that's not a team I want to play when they get out of the play-in either. So I'm looking at teams like OKC, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets.
Yeah.
Even Houston probably. I don't know if they'll fall that far down, but it's a scary team to play in the first round of
I
the
mean,
playoffs.
they don't even have Jonathan Kaminga back yet.
Exactly. So it's a if I'm some of
So
those team, I might lose a couple games. Say I'm resting players or something just to avoid them, because that's a deadly team, especially
it
Jimmy
can be,
Jimmy
yeah.
playoff bucket comes around. It's gonna be exciting from some Golden State
Yeah.
fans for sure.
Yeah, I just
Um,
wanted to flip it around because it just wasn't. It was a Curry show, but let's flip it around to the Magic. I mean, they lost this tight game. Listen, they're in the
hmm
play-in right now. I mean, they're above the play-in right now as well. I
Yeah,
believe. Let me just double check that.
yeah, they're in
Yeah,
the
they're the
seventh
seventh
seed right
seed,
now. Yep.
so they're right there on the cusp of it. Listen, very young team. They've been
hmm
very banged up this year. Paolo, Franz. I mean, Jalen Suggs is hurt too. I mean, he was hurt too. But Paolo, I mean, 41, 6-5 tonight.
hmm
France France was 27, 2-4. I mean, that two combo when they get Suggs back is going to be deadly. I mean, Paulo since the All-Star break is averaging 20, 28, 6-4. I mean,
Yeah,
listen,
I mean
I
it.
always felt like that guy reminded me of like Melo a little bit from
Pablo,
the
yeah,
like
for sure.
he just he
Denver
6'10, he
Mello.
could do it all, man. Yeah, man. Like he could
Yeah,
do it all.
yeah. But I mean, it just goes to show how good that team is that it took Curry to have a crazy offensive night just for them to. I mean, they didn't like beat them by a lot. It was a couple points that were off. So it
Yeah.
just shows how good the Magic team really is, and they're not even fully healthy. I
They're
mean,
not
I know the
fully healthy
Warriors
either.
aren't
And
either, but I mean, like you said, it's a young team. Warriors are kind of more veteranized. They got some young pieces in there too, but when it comes to the Magic, they don't really have that veteran presence like a Curry or a Draymond
yeah.
or even a Butler for that fact. So I mean, that's gonna be a team for the future to watch if they can add a couple pieces or maybe a veteran or two here and there, and they're gonna be pretty scary in the East, especially the East. That's
Yeah.
so kind of like the top. I would say top three teams in the East are kind of solidified, but that after that is kind of you can mix and match down there, which is I mean
It's
exactly
up
what
for
they need.
grabs right now.
hmm
'Cause, I mean, we'll get into the Bucks game like in a second or two, but right now the Pacers and the Bucks 33 wins with the Pistons. Pistons are very hot right now as well
hmm
too. So the East is very like heating up. That 4 through 7, because the Heat since trading Jimmy Butler been struggling, but that 4 through 7 right now in the East is very it's gonna get very competitive, and it's getting very competitive very fast. So
Yeah.
my Knicks, we need to worry about it a little bit because we good some days, we're like, whatever. Let's just we want to go back to New York. So
Yeah.
listen, East is getting interesting right now.
Yeah. All
But
right.
like I said, I mentioned the Bucks, and let me give it over to you. Get over
Yeah.
to that Bucks
So
game.
So right now the Bucks went at it with the Denver Nuggets. Nuggets are sitting third in the Western Conference. Bucks are currently fifth in the Eastern Conference, battling through some injuries and stuff like that, and they made some trades. But the Nuggets ended up winning the Nuggets despite a double from Joker. Um,
It's a bad man.
yeah, that's triple double. Giannis had a crazy stat night too. He had 28, 19 rebounds, 7 assists, almost a triple double for himself. And then Joker on the side, 32, 14 and 10. So, I mean, Giannis is going Giannis. Joker's gonna Joker. That's his. It's gonna come down to that. They're gonna battle each other out. Whether they're one of them is a little better than the other some nights, but they're gonna battle. It's gonna be close with their numbers all the time. They're just that good, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
But if you look at the supporting cast for the Nuggets, I mean, Murray had 20, but he went 9 for 20 for shooting percentage. So it's not that great. And then Michael Porter he struggled a lot. Went 5 for
yeah,
22, 2 for 11 from the 3-point line. So I mean, if you have games like that, it's gonna be hard to beat a Bucks team that's they already know what they're doing, especially when you have Lillard on the other side with Giannis. I know.
yeah.
I mean, Lillard didn't have a crazy offensive night, but he was pretty efficient. 19 points, 5 for 9 from the field goal, 3 for 6 from the 3-point line, 19 points. But then you had Kuzma, who's actually playing good. You know, he had a pretty efficient night, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. And then you had Brook Lopez, who had a big night with 22 points. So I mean, if your supporting cast is doing their job, you're gonna win, and it's tough for the Nuggets. But you know their supporting cast didn't show up today, and you gotta give credit to
Yeah.
the Bucks and their defense. Um, but it's gonna be tough when you got people like Murray shooting 9 for 20, Westbrook shot 4 for 13. So if you're shooting like that, it's gonna be tough to win a game against a good team. So that's not what you want to see coming almost playoff time. But I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll get it together by the time that time comes.
Yeah, stat right here. Kuzma's 6-3 since joining the Bucks. So another
Hmm.
team that made another trade during the trade deadline, and it's paying dividends. I mean, he's averaging 15 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists on 40% shooting. I want to see the 3-point percentage get up there. He's gonna get a lot more open shots now playing with Giannis
Yep.
and Damian Lillard. Like, it's two guys that can get it both off the bounce, no matter. Like, again, you have to double Giannis. You have to crowd the paint with
Yep.
Giannis. You have to guard Lillard
And that's what I think
30 feet
makes
out
this
almost.
makes this team good.
So
If they can get Kuzma like he was when he was with the Lakers, it's gonna be pretty scary. I think for him it's more of a confidence thing right now. Playing
yeah,
when he was with the Wizards, he was kinda the man with him and Poole, running the
but
show.
that ain't a team though. They
I
just chucking
didn't.
at that
Yeah,
point.
so he's probably gonna have to get into some rhythm with Giannis and Lillard on
Or
the front and back court. But I feel like once he gets that rhythm and that confidence back, it's gonna be a scary offensive team because he's replacing basically Chris Middleton, who's I
Chris
mean
Middleton, yeah.
Chris Middleton was great for the Bucks, but you know he's a little old on the older side, and you know he played a little bit of defense, but you take that with some youth, and the Bucks already have great defense to begin with, just having Giannis out there. So I feel like if he can just get that confidence back and maybe dabble into that Laker version of himself, they're going to be a very scary team because, you know,
Yeah.
Kuzma has the potential just to drop 20, 30 points out of nowhere. So it's going to be scary.
And
So,
like you said, he gets hot. Like, if he's
hmm
hot, he gets hot. Like, he's almost not, like, in a sense their style of play is dissimilar, like Jordan Clarkson, but those two, like, off, like, they can get hot.
agreed.
Scorching hot too, fast.
I agree. If you want, we can just talk about this Hornets Mavericks game. Obviously, the
This
Hornets
is
not a very good team.
Yeah, they fighting right now. I mean, let's be honest, they're tanking.
Yeah, I would hope
Right now they're
so.
trying to find their second, third star next to LaMelo and Brandon Miller. So, I mean, they're
Yeah.
in those Cooper Flag sweepstakes.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think they definitely need some veteran presence in that locker room or in that on the court general because they're such a young team and there's like
yeah,
all their young stars are so good, but it's just like they can't put it
they
together
can't piece it together. Yeah,
and their defense is horrid, like horrid. They can score, but they just don't do anything else besides score, which
I mean, I really just want to see, like, I think LaMelo has tremendous upside.
oh yeah.
great upside. Like I love LaMelo since I mean we used to watch him freshman year in Chino Hills when he was like 13, 14 with
Yeah.
his two brothers and just running up and down the court. So it's like I think he has incredible upside. I just really want to see him stay healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the number one thing. Like if he stays on the court, like I said, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. I mean,
Yeah.
I want him, yeah, like you said, surrounded a little more with veterans,
Hmm.
because right now it's just a whole bunch of young guys just going out there and just
Playing
shooting the
AAU
ball.
basketball. Yep. Yep.
So
And I
like some
think,
veteran presence won't, I think will fix that problem up.
yeah, I also think if they're not gonna build around him, I think you trade him and get as much as humanly possible for him. Because I know
I
there's some
mean,
teams that would love a point guard like him who could just throw it up the
yeah,
floor like that, and he's definitely a pass first point guard. Obviously,
yeah,
he can score 30, 40 points whenever, but he definitely passes first. But on a team like this, he's kind of just gonna have to shoot, which is kind of what he
yeah.
does. But on the side of
On the
Dallas,
flip side, I mean, listen, like they said right now, listen, they're very banged up. I mean, very, very banged up. No Anthony Davis. They're missing, and PJ Washington didn't play either. Who am I missing? Two centers,
Lively's out, I believe. Gafford, both
Lively and
Gafford out.
Gafford. There you go, and Daniel Gafford. So it's like that team is very banged up. So any wins right now they can scrap, claw, and get right now, it's big. Stay
Yeah.
in that title picture. I mean, stay in that playoff picture. I mean, so when you get healthy, you come back and hopefully you really can come back. Right now, they're sitting in the ninth seed, about a game out from the Warriors. So again, it's getting very like this is the best time for the NBA right now. Like around that playoff time, standings is very tight. So it's like right now in the NBA, like I said, it's showtime. Like if you want to make the playoffs, it's right there. It's right in front of you. For a lot of teams, it's a couple games. Like just got to stay in that hunt.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree. This is where teams start to actually pick it up and start playing some ball. And you can see it by some of the scores and some of the games that they're actually a little closer. It's not always some blowouts and stuff like that. But into that, we can talk about a disappointing team who's currently outside the playoff hunt, which nobody saw coming into the season. It kind of doesn't make sense to me when you look at it on paper. But Phoenix Suns, man, they just lost to the Pelicans. They're sitting outside the playoff hunt. They made no trades. They didn't trade Beal or anything. I'm kind of confused. They didn't trade Durant. There was talks about trading Durant.
Yeah. Durant was supposed to go to the Warriors for Jimmy Butler, that three-team trade, but he didn't want to go.
Yeah, so I don't understand the issue with the team. Maybe it's the defensive thing, but they have two of the top scorers in the NBA with Durant and Booker.
Yep.
And then you have Beal, who had a monsters off season when before he joined the Suns, and then I don't know what happened. Maybe it's just two dominant players on the team, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's wrong with this
Just
team. I'm not sure how they fixed what's wrong with this team.
yeah. It's
I don't get it. I don't know why they're
it's
so
almost
bad.
like honestly speaking, it's always like someone's always hurt on this team.
Yeah.
Like it's KD's out. I mean, Booker's, he's been in there, but he's missed some games here. Beal's been up and down. I mean, you look at this team, I mean, who
That's what I'm saying. I
they
don't.
should be winning games. I
I
mean,
know.
like
Even if you just have Booker, when it was Booker and a CP, they were winning games. They were a top
exactly.
team in the West. You add Durant and take away Chris Paul, and now it's like and add Beal, and they just can't win. I don't get it. They're scoring, they just don't win. So I'm not sure if it's a defensive thing. I'm not sure if it's some egos in the locker room or something, but they need like it's very disappointing to see a team with three all stars, superstars on the team, and they just can't make in the play-in right now. They're outside the play-in, I
Yeah.
believe, right now, and it's crazy to
I
see. I
think
mean, it's cool to see they got Bobo some minutes. That's cool. That's that's exciting. I think he's really good if you could get some PT, but I mean that's the only thing I see from this. Like they lost to the
yeah, I
Pelicans.
don't. I think you see some major. I think you see KD move during the offseason. If honestly speaking, unless they do something to revamp their bench, their center depth, add some more defense to that team, but I like again, they're so restricted right now.
Mm-hmm.
Beal making what 40 to 50 million dollars. Like
It's
all their
ridiculous.
money is tied up to those three guys and Grayson Allen. I mean, it's gonna be hard
I think
to
Grayson
do
Allen went like
anything.
0 for 7
He
today.
went, yeah.
It's like what I don't get it.
That man couldn't hit an ocean today. But listen, hey, it happens, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
I agree. I mean,
some good days, some bad days. I mean,
On the positive note for the Pelicans, Zion did have a triple double, 27, 10, 11, 2 blocks. So good for Zion. Glad to see him when he's on the court. Hopefully we see more of that in the future,
hopefully.
and hopefully the Pelicans either hurry up the process and build around him. It was kind of a thing that was supposed to happen that's not happening. Um,
I
but
mean,
yeah,
this
they
guy was
kind of
supposed to be the face of the league right now
yeah,
because LeBron, I mean, it's supposed to be on his tail end, but
yeah,
I mean,
it's
I don't really like again, I see Grant, I see Zion wanting to get out, but they really don't want him to leave. Like I said, that guy has untapped potential. I mean, he could do so much on that floor. Right now, they're same thing, just trying to get a higher draft pick right now, and hopefully the cards play in their favor. But
yeah,
they have a young, great team, man.
I agree. It's one of those Hornet situations where you either put your foot down and say we're gonna build now around him, and then start trading some picks and people and get them some help, or you just trade them away and just hope to build around someone else in the future. Because at this point, I think Zion's about to hit close to where he's about to go to free agency, and you don't want to lose
Hmm.
him for nothing. He's not gonna stay if
Yep.
you guys don't do anything. Same thing with Lamelo. You already know he does not want to be there. Um, so I like either you guys. I suggest for the teams they either start making some moves and showing that they're making progress, or just trade them away. Try to get as much as you can from them. Get some young
Yeah.
stars, some picks. I mean, just look at what OKC did. They knew they couldn't keep that big three, and they got a lot of picks out of it. And look at the team now, first in the West right now, and that's just all
You're not
from
even talking what they have right now. Still, I
and they
mean,
still have picks. Is the crazy part. It's just and that's all from trading those three players. It was Westbrook, Durant, Harden. And they knew they couldn't keep them. They were like, "We'll just shop them." They didn't win with them,
yeah,
and they're like, "All right, we'll just shop them." And I mean, it worked out. So
exactly. Trading PG for Shy and like
exactly.
four other
I
picks,
even forgot about Paul George.
and then what? Didn't trading CP3? If I'm not mistaken, too. I mean, right now they have that 76ers pick, which again, they're having a horrible year too.
Yep.
It's top six protected, so anything seven and down, they can jump right over that and have another big draft pick, just probably gonna be on the bench. Like
Which is scary.
it's insane, man.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, that's pretty much it for most of the games today. I mean, right
Yep.
now, just looking in right now to the Lakers and Minnesota game. Minnesota was down, I said 19 when we first started.
Yep. The first quarter, I
Yeah,
believe.
right now they're down 11, so good comeback. I mean, Ant has 13.
As expected.
Uh, Everyone else kind of got a couple points here and there. I mean, Terrence Shannon Jr. has 9 off the bench. Let's go look at. I mean, it's the LeBron and Luca show. 19 from LeBron at half, Luca 13. I mean,
Nice.
as your perspective, I want to get from a Laker fan. What do you think of the Luca trade?
So I have mixed emotions. Obviously, for our future, it is awesome. Having to build around Luca in the future, but the problem with that is it's gonna have to be through free agents. We don't have.
Mhm.
I mean, we have Reeves to trade, but I doubt they do that. And then we have Dalton to trade, but that fell through. So I wouldn't personally want to trade any of them unless we're gonna get like a big piece, like a big center or something like that.
Yeah.
But as of like a right now thing, it kind of scares me because, like you said, there's a lot of good top. The top teams have some good centers and some good defenders, and that's something the Lakers lack on is a little bit of defense. LeBron's obviously he plays good D, but he's a little on the older side. Luka is not known for his defense. Archimori is not known for his defense. Hayes plays defense conditionally. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. kind of you don't know what you're gonna get, and I mean the rest of the team kind of speaks for itself. Gabe Vincent, you don't know what you're gonna get from him. He's not the Heat version of him. I don't know what happened to him. He just forgot
Man
how to
got
shoot.
paid.
Yeah, I don't know. And then Cam Reddish, same thing. You don't know what Cam Reddish you're gonna get, which he's ridiculously good. So I don't know why he's not playing good.
Yeah, coming out of that draft,
I
I
don't
thought
get
he
it.
was gonna be good.
Especially in a system the Lakers have right now, you think he'd shine because he didn't have a lot of one-on-one action, but that's not
Yeah.
it's not happening. So I'm a little nervous for the Lakers. Like I said, future-wise, it's awesome. A lot of people are gonna want to play with Luca. Even Clay wanted to play with Luca. That's why he went there. So why they traded him didn't make sense for me because that's why Clay went there in the first place. It's funny that the Lakers were actually an option for Clay and he chose the Mavericks for Luca, and now Luca's a Laker. Kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the future of the Lakers because like it's gonna draw free agents for sure.
Yeah.
The thing with LeBron being there was, yes, you will have maybe a couple good years with LeBron. You know he's on his way out soon, so it's like as a free agent, do you want to risk going there and then him retire and it's just you and AD, which obviously AD is not there no more. But at the time, it's like, do I risk going 2 or 3 years and try to play with LeBron and AD,
Yeah.
and then LeBron
I
leaves, and then
mean,
probably AD was on
I
the way out too.
I think I'll say this I get it for both teams, honestly
Mhm.
speaking. I know there was a lot of flack where like why would you trade Luca? I think that Mavericks team fully healthy, I mean, they're scary.
Oh
They're
yeah.
a win now team, and I'm not trying to take anything away from Luca. Luca's a great player, but you can see where the Mavericks want to go. They
Mhm.
want to put AD into four. You got Gafford and you got Lively at the five, and Kyrie running the show with Clay. I mean, listen, that team right now
Oh,
can
it's.
speak for itself for the next 3 years, can compete
Oh
at a
yeah.
very high level
I agree.
when healthy. From the Lakers standpoint, again, AD was getting old. LeBron, I mean, you don't know how many years. LeBron can say, you know what, I'm done after this year. And guess what? I mean, that it is what it is.
Mhm.
The man's 40.
Yep.
So it's just, but I also think from a Lakers standpoint, you don't make that trade thinking LeBron retires next year.
Mhm.
So again, I think the Lakers have, like you said, connect, and the Lakers have what's his name? Austin Reeves. I don't think they trade. I think they like Austin Reeves a lot. So I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
honestly speaking, they'll probably trade connect. Um, so yeah, trade him for a piece, a center, someone like that. So
I,
I
I,
mean,
I would say I do think the Mavericks, if they wanted to go the route of getting more pieces for their team, they could have. Like they could have got a lot more role players, and maybe a all star, not a superstar like obviously AD, but they could have got a lot
yeah,
more for that package. But I see why they just went for AD for the defensive portion and the offensive portion, pairing him with Kyrie. It's kind of scary because Kyrie sometimes you need to double him, and then you can't leave Clay open. And
mm-mm,
obviously, he's not prime time Splash Brothers Golden State Clay, but he's still Clay. He showed it a couple of days ago against the Lakers. But
yeah,
and then you have AD down low with once Gafford and Lively come back, it's gonna be a tough team to beat, especially in the paint. I don't
yeah,
see a lot of teams going down there once those guys are back. It reminds me of kind of how when the Pelicans had AD and Cousins back in the day. It's kind of like that. Obviously, I think this team is better just because they have better shooters and a better point guard.
yeah,
But even that Pelicans team with Cousins before he had that Achilles injury was scary, and I think they
yeah,
would. I think if he doesn't get hurt in that season, they would have went a long way as well. But unfortunately, he got hurt and never was the same. But that team was scary at the time, so I kind of see the comparisons and see what they want to do. And it's like you said, it's gonna be a team that's gonna be competing for the next like 3 to 4 years,
yeah,
depending how Kyrie and Clay do. But I think Clay has a couple more years left in him, and I think they
yeah.
still can replace him easily.
One thing I worry about that team is spacing
Hmm.
a little bit with AD being at the four, then Lively and Gafford at the five. I worry a little bit about spacing four and five because
Yeah,
AD, I mean, he can shoot, don't get me wrong, but
you don't really want him
he's
doing that,
not yeah, exactly. You want him attacking the rim consistently, drawing fouls, getting to the free throw line.
right?
Um, but again, let everyone get healthy. Let's see what that team can do. And like I said, I mean, they can go up against that Thunder team. I mean, they have the
Oh yeah.
defense to do it. I don't think, honestly speaking, you probably for the Thunder have to go Chet and Hartenstein 4 and 5 like that to
Hmm.
compete with that Mavericks team. And then you look over to the if they make it to the finals, I mean, most likely, I won't say most likely, but in my opinion, right now, that Boston Celtics team is probably still favored to go to the finals.
Agreed. Yep.
Um, that matchup that you can now put eight, you could put AD on anybody. Like he can guard 1 through 5, literally.
Yeah, I agree.
Clay can guard your probably second best scorer. Kyrie can sag off, play Derek White. I mean, again, this is future into the finals if it happens again, but they set themselves up very good for the next 3 to 4 years to compete at a very high level. But again, it's all if everyone stays healthy, knock on some wood for those Maverick fans.
Yeah, like you said, it's gonna be exciting. Course of playoff action here shortly. With the season winding down here, a lot of teams, like you said, are fighting for that playoff spot. So it's gonna be exciting who comes out on top and who gets in that play-in. Like I said, if I'm on the West, I'm ducking the Warriors, scary team. I might lose a couple games not to play them. And like I said, the Suns got to kick it up. I don't know if they do, but they can. It's like it's a play-in. You should be able to get in there with the players you have on that team. And like the East is so close, it's gonna be fun to watch who gets in, who gets bumped out. So I mean, I'm excited for playoff basketball. That's when I started to actually tune in because like sometimes during the season it's just like a whole bunch of people sitting all the dang time, and it kind of gets annoying. But
Yeah.
once playoff implications are on the line, it gets exciting. But if you want, we can move on to some baseball, or we can hit some CDL matches that are coming up this weekend.
Um, we can do CDL matches.
Cool. I have it
Real
pulled
fast,
up.
a little bit of Call of Duty.
Yeah, so it's actually the minor this weekend, minor two. It starts February 28th, which is I believe Friday, so it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the first matchup of the day is the LAG versus the Miami Heretics at 3 o'clock. I think that's gonna be a
Ooh.
good matchup. Actually, it's gonna be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, if like I said, like switching up from basketball to Call of Duty. I don't know if you guys watch Call of Duty. If you do, you do. You know what's going on. But like I said, we're like we said in the first episode, we're very versed into this sports, esports, everything. Like we can touch up on a lot of things. But honestly speaking, I got Miami. I mean, if you watched the major,
Hmm.
they played very, very well. So
I
I
agree.
don't see why not. But again,
I agree.
just
I
think
think.
I like that Miami team a lot. Won't lie to you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That team is really good. I think they win it. I give LAG like a map or two. I say they win. Miami wins 3-2, 3-1. I think Miami's just a little bit better, more consistent than LAG right now. But
Yeah.
but to me the match to watch is the one right after that. Is the Optic Texas versus Vegas. Optic didn't win a map. They're like 0-12. It's insane. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if they just gotta get the chemistry back, or if there's some
I
stuff
mean,
background going on. But I don't think so because I see them hanging out all the time and
yeah, they
talking.
were
So
just on a
I don't.
podcast. I think yesterday it was. They're just all hanging around, just talking. I think it just comes to it's very they're playing behind everyone. Like they
Hmm.
have probably the least amount of practice right now as a full squad. I mean, LAG just made a team. The Gorillas made a trade for not a trade, a pickup for Lunars. I think they dropped Skies. They originally dropped Priesta, then they dropped Skies. So again, I think it just comes down to practice playing together. I mean, when you look at the map, those Optic boys are not playing together at all. They are
Yeah,
very spread out. But I mean, they should beat the Vegas Falcons. I
I,
mean,
I hope so. It's gonna not be pretty if they don't. I'll tell you that. People will start hitting the panic button real fast and start saying
but they
drop
haven't
this,
won a
drop that.
Vegas Falcons haven't won a game this year. I mean, I think
Yeah.
they've like 0 for in their damn the last hard point game. So
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those trap games where like you're optic and you're like kind of gotta win this one, and it puts a little more pressure on you knowing you kind of gotta win this one just because
yeah,
you haven't won in so long. But like you said,
I think Optic takes that 3-1.
or you
They
get
drop the S&D when the respawns and they'll drop the one S&D that they play. They win 3-1.
yeah, I mean, I hope so. But like I see all the chatter online, drop this, drop that. I'm like, you can't, you kind of have to stick through with this team.
You can't.
You just gotta figure, they have to figure it out. If you drop either of the subs or the ARs and put them on another team, that team becomes instantly so much better. And
Come godlike, man.
yeah, you don't want to do that. Like if you drop one of the ARs and one of the like teams, the top three teams, or battling for that middle section of the team, they instantly jump so much higher, and it's so much scarier. Like
Yeah.
if you drop one of those players and they go to Toronto, for example, Toronto just got so much better, and that's
hmm
something you don't want.
And you don't drop a player like Kenny.
Oh no.
And that like everyone online is like drop Kenny, pick up Hook. Listen, I love Hook. I love the way he plays. Great player, high ceiling, but honestly speaking, this team just won champs. Like, come on. Like, slow down. Let them practice. Give them a major. They'll probably suck this major. Honestly speak, well, leading up to the major, they'll probably still struggle. Um, just get them into major three. If they're still struggling in major three, I think that's when you hit the panic button. You hit the panic button if they lose to Vegas, you hit it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, win some games, get some confidence back, build that confidence going into the major. And I think that Optic team by major three, they're looking like a top three team again. So I mean, yeah, let's take it over to Vancouver versus Breach. Who you got there?
I don't know. Kind of lean towards Boston for some reason. I don't know why,
Ooh.
but I just have a feeling that I don't know. I just think
I
Boston.
mean, Boston's a very, 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 very competitive
Yeah, they're
team.
just so scrappy.
They are. I mean, when it comes down to Boston, it really comes down to what purge are you getting?
Hmm.
I mean, this honestly is more than just purge, but because I mean, if you Cammy can't replicate what he was in Cold War. So like if you got Cold War Cammy and like MW Awakening, this team is godlike with Snoopy. But it's like this team is so up and down. They have
Hmm.
good potential, but they're just very like you see Snoopy going off and everyone else is just negative, just sitting down, just like really not doing anything.
Nah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. But me personally, I got Vancouver, man. I got
Okay.
Vancouver 3-2, taking it in game five. I think Neptune coming back in. I mean, he's someone of a high ceiling in Cold War. He was doing his thing. He struggled, and now he's back, man. I mean, like I said, I really I like Neptune a lot. Fast player, sub. I mean, next to '04, waiting on a boozer to show up this year. I mean, last year he was just godlike, and then now this year he's kind of struggling. But again, new game,
Yep.
playing with different players, so just trying to probably just get him on board with everybody, and probably not trying to do too much, trying to play too correctly. Sometimes when you get in your own head, and you're just like, oh, what happened? I mean, the guy still shoots nukes, so
Yeah.
well, I got Vancouver
Okay.
5.
And then obviously the last matchup of the day is Minnesota and New York. I think I got New
Oof.
York with that one. I just think they're the better team
Yeah.
overall, and I don't think Minnesota has the firepower for Cloud9 right now. But
Nah.
you never know. It's Call of Duty. Anything could happen, as we've been seeing. So it's a little scary. And then obviously you got the FaZe boys playing the winner of Breach and Surge. Um, I think
Nah,
we.
let's not
I
get into Saturday yet. Let's not get into Saturday yet. We're getting into Saturday in a couple days. Listen, it's
yeah,
Thursday,
but
heading into
we
gotta
got
be
Atlanta
close.
FaZe with a bye, Toronto Ultra with a bye, Thieves with a bye, and
I
then
like they would apply.
the Royal Ravens with a bye. So we'll see who they play after these Friday matches.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's some good matches. I'm tired of seeing these 3-0s all the damn time. I want to see some competitive COD. That's one of the most fun
Yeah.
times to watch COD. Honestly, when it's like a 2-2 game 5 S&D round 11, those are awesome. But yeah,
Two questions for you.
mm-hmm.
Who is like who are you most confident in winning this, and who's your dark horse team to win this?
I mean, I think the easy answer is FaZe, right? I just think they're just really good. Like
Yeah.
from Simp to Draws, then you got a BZ, and then you got Celium. Any of those guys can win you a series, which is the scary
Hmm.
part of that team. And then if you got the tiny terrors going off, you're kind of in trouble. And then Celium and Draws are gonna contribute when they're going off either
Yeah.
way. So it's like even if you stop the subs, you still gotta deal with Celium in the back, and then Draza running at you. So it's a tough team to beat.
Right.
The only team I've seen close to them is Thieves, and those are always a good matchup. But I just think the X factor is always Simp when it comes down to that. He's just Simp. He's just
It's
that good, and it's hard to stop him or
that
slow him
guy.
down. So I
And
think
even if you do
FaZe.
slow him down and stop him, you probably got a BZ coming right at you too, man.
Exactly. So it's like you gotta kind of pick your poison with FaZe. Early in the season, they were kind of beating themselves, but they figured it out pretty quickly, which is why I have some hope for Optic. If FaZe can put it together that quickly, I think Optic can do the same thing. As far as Dark Horse, I'm kind of leaning towards Toronto. I think Toronto's a really good team, and they're kind of scary to go up against, especially going into the second round. And if they can get past FaZe, I think they're sitting pretty. Obviously to get
Them
to
boys
that.
they don't get talked about enough. I'll be
Yeah,
honest with you.
yeah. Especially if they get past FaZe in the semis, it's like you're sitting kind of pretty.
Yeah.
Cause then FaZe and Thieves are gonna have to go at it to go in the finals, and you kind of whoever you get there, you already kind of if you beat FaZe already, you kind of already beat them. And if you versus Thieves, you have a better. I think they have a better chance beating Thieves than they do the FaZe boys. But like I said, I think Toronto's really good, and I think if they can get past FaZe, they have a really really good shot at winning. And it'll be cool to watch Scrap going against his old team in the finals too. Be a lot of banter there. But yeah, that's Friday CDL matches for you guys. I think we're gonna talk some baseball.
Let's kick it over to some baseball. We're not gonna go too much into depth about spring training right now. Like I said, it's very early days. I mean, some people overreacting with some things. Listen, spring training, man. Some people are gonna
Yeah.
struggle. Some people are just working out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys are just swinging a bat
Yeah.
for the first time this season. Like, don't look too much into it. It's really right now, I would say, for the young players to have very good success very early on. As a Yankee fan, watching Will Warren just absolutely dealing.
Mm-hmm.
So March 1st, you get a lot of your veterans getting into the play. Let's really start ramping up. But like I said, spring training, worried about those last 2 weeks going into the season, just trying to keep everybody healthy. So let's talk some off-season baseball.
Okay.
First episode, we're what, March? I mean, we're February 27th. We're 2 days, probably a day now, because it's 12 to 2 days away from being March 1st, and then you're kind of just getting to
It's when,
April
yeah, it's when it starts ramping
when the
up.
games really count.
Yeah.
I mean, let's let's take the gut punch right away. Yankee fans here. Soto, what do you think about that, man?
Uh, I definitely think the Yankees, as much as I love Soto, and I loved for him to stay, and I wanted him to stay, I think the years and the money was way too much. We've seen big contracts like this not work out plenty of times, more than they have worked out. I would Pujols, for example, the machine. Um, Coming from the St. Louis going to the Angels, he had a couple good seasons, but then obviously it fell off. Obviously he and Soto are a little different because Pujols was always a bigger
Soto,
guy and he wasn't as
yeah,
athletic as Soto. But again, the big contracts, it's a scary thing for me personally when I see those big contracts and a player of that caliber coming to my team. Like, even Stanton's a big contract, and it's not as big, but you've seen him have some trouble staying on the field. Some other big contracts. I'm trying to think. Even
I
A-Rod,
know.
Cano, A-Rod towards the end of his career, Cano, when he went to Seattle, he had maybe 1 or 2 good years, and then that was it. He went to the Mets for a little bit, and that was pretty much it. Ellsbury's another big contract that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Love, not I hated playing against him when he was on the Red Sox, and then he came to the Yankees, and I was like, oh boy, this is gonna be awesome. And he just never stayed on the field. So,
Yeah.
like I said, these big contracts for these big amount of monies are a little scary. I think we dodged a bullet. Happy for the Met fans though, because something they needed, I think, is
Yeah.
a big caliber player like Soto to go over there alongside Lindor, obviously. But it brings that fan base some good hope when it comes to them. I think I still wouldn't have paid that much, um, just because they need helps other places, like their starting pitching. But like I said, I'm happy for the Met fans and a New York fan in general that he at least stays in New York and we get to kind of still watch him play. And it makes the Mets a lot more competitive in that stacked NL East. But as me as a Yankee fan, I'm happy with the additions we were able to make not signing him, and I think it makes on paper our team better than what it was last year. Obviously, there's some
Yeah.
question marks on if some of the players we signed are the same caliber, besides Freed. Is the only one I'm more confident in. But yeah, I think sucked, but I think it'll work out in the end, depending how we
Um,
play.
I agree with everything you said. Pretty much. I think, listen, Soto's young, and that's the only reason why he was able to get a contract this big for this many years. I mean, you don't really see a 26-year-old free agent.
Yep.
So you see it here and there, but not this guy's caliber. I mean, this guy is on pace to have the most walks in history, have one of the most on base percentage machine, over 400. I mean, and he's almost kind of hitting his stride almost in a sense. He's had his best season as a Yankee.
Yep.
So, I mean, as a fan, kind of just seeing him go was like, damn, you just had your best season.
Yeah.
Playing right field in the Yankees, man, they love that guy. I mean,
And then hitting behind
you,
Judge
you were gonna
was
you're gonna exactly you're gonna hit right in front of Judge, bro, for the next 10 years. Well, next 5 to 8 years, because Judge will probably retire by then. But listen, I agree with what you said. It comes down to this. How? I mean,
yeah.
just I get not going to that number of 700 mil. Like that's insane.
Yeah.
15 years. I mean, my one question mark, and we'll dive into the Yankees right after this. The Mets kind of confused me this offseason,
Yep.
if
I
I'm
agree.
being honest. You're going Soto, and it looks like you're going for a home run. And I was like, whoa, okay. I had to take a step back. At that point, it was Soto, and I was like, you don't get Soto and you don't make another big move. And they didn't. They kind of backpedaled after that. I thought they were gonna get Soto and then go get Burns. I mean, I thought they were gonna go for it. They
Yeah.
didn't. That was a question mark for me. And now you're kind of sitting here February 27th, and listen, early days, of course. Who's your starting five pitcher right now
That was
on paper?
that was my issue with it. Is like they went and got Soto. They took forever to sign Pete Alonso. Obviously Pete's awesome. He's a Met homegrown. Met fans love him. I'm glad he stayed with the Mets, to be honest. But it's just like they didn't do anything with the pitching. Manaya's already hurt, and
Montas is hurt.
Montas hurt. I mean, he's been hurt for like the past 3 years, anyways. But so I don't know
Literally.
what they thought that was gonna do. But I'd figure, like you said, they go get Burns, go trade for Crochet or something, and or even get
They
Bueller for a
didn't.
year rental. And they didn't pick up any of those star pitchers. They didn't like even they could have competed with us for Freed if they really wanted to.
And
And
yeah,
they didn't make any big splashes on the starting pitching end, which I think is gonna hurt them. They added to their bullpen a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So that's my concern with this Met team is the pitching, especially when you look in the NL East when you got the Braves pitching, you got Phillies pitching with that top three horse, and then you got, like I said, the Braves have a dominant one, two, three. Even their 4-5 is pretty good, and then
Acuna's coming
yeah,
back
Acuna,
healthy.
yep, and then, I mean the Braves lineup's always good with or
Yeah.
without Acuna when he's out, and then their pitching is phenomenal even though they lost Minter to the Mets, but I don't know. I don't see how they're pitching. They're gonna have their
Right
offense to
now,
stay in it, but
yeah.
I don't see that happening either.
I mean, I like the moves that they make. I mean, for me, it's kind of the same thing right now. I mean, the Mets are kind of just like I really wish they made a couple more moves. I mean, if you want to go around the diamond, their catcher, Francisco Alvarez, he's good, a lot of potential,
Yep.
but again, hasn't shown it. Pete Alonso, what Pete Alonso are you getting? Like, you're not getting that 50 home run guy right
Yeah,
now.
he's
Like, you're not.
he might have something to prove this year,
I
considering the low market he had this offseason. So
yeah,
I think he's gonna try to go a little berserk like when his rookie season when he went with Judge.
yeah.
But like you said, I don't know,
I mean, let's finish the infield. Jeff McNeil.
good contact hitter.
Okay, like don't get me wrong, there's gonna be holes. I mean, Frankie Lindor is a top shortstop in the game, phenomenal.
Oh yeah.
I think I go back to that deal, and I think that was amazing what the Mets
Hmm.
did for Frankie Lindor,
I
Mark
thought
Vientos. I mean, yeah, sorry,
no, like I said when talking about the Lindor trade, I thought the Yankees were gonna make a big splash with him, and then the Mets just said nope. They just took him right
yeah,
out there. But like I don't know,
Mark Vientos. I
he's
mean, good
awesome.
rookie year. Let's see what he can do year two. Usually, year two, everyone learns you, and now you got
Well,
to make they make an adjustment on you. Now you got to make the adjustment on them. Brandon Nimmo playing left. I mean, he's good on base guy, but let's see what he can do hitting the ball. Jorge Siri, I mean, good defender. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, the other day he kind of hit a shot, no doubt. And then you got Soto, but right now your starting rotation is Kodai Senga, who was hurt all last year.
yep. But if he's back, he's
No
good, really
Montas
good.
already. I mean, who's your second pitcher? Clay Holmes?
Yeah, and who's was a closer, so I'm pretty closer for the Yankees. Well, he was a closer for like half the season, but you gotta think he's gonna be on some type of innings restriction just because it's just
Exactly.
he wasn't a starter last year. He's transitioning. We saw it not work on the past for the Yankees, for example, with Jabba Chamberlain when they tried that, and his career kind of went. So
Yeah,
it's a scary thing to do. He looks good. He developed a new pitch or added new pitches to his arsenal, which look pretty good and nasty. But like
yeah.
again, pitching 1 to 2 innings, stretching that out to six is a little difficult when you're from a closer trying to transition back to a starter. We saw it with Jordan Hicks last year. He struggled a lot. So I don't know. I think if you were gonna give that money to someone, I would have not done it to someone like Clay Holmes, as good as he was for the Yankees. I'd
Yeah. I
rather
mean,
have given it to a starter that's more proven and more stable.
if it was like again, Clay Holmes has great stuff. I
Yeah,
mean, but if you're signing Clay Holmes to be your fourth, fifth starter, kind of ease him in.
yeah,
I mean, right now he's your two or three.
it's a little,
Senga was hurt all year. Like that's why I'm saying they really should have went out there and got a star caliber pitcher to really solidify that starting rotation. We're not even talking about the bullpen yet. I mean, but
yeah.
outside of Edwin Diaz,
I'm a little worried about their defense in the outfield too, a little bit, just because
yeah. eh,
it's a little
But
scary.
like we
But
said, we're gonna go to the Mets. We're gonna go to the big brother in town, the Yankees. I mean, we'll go straight to it with Max Fried. I mean, on paper, like you said, they look like a better team, or
hmm
I think more athletic. I'll get into what I kind of want them to do. We'll get into like the trades and everything. Honestly speaking, G's out. Big Giancarlo Stanton is out
oh,
for the foreseeable future. I mean, there's rumors going on right now,
oh
just
yeah,
like of retirement. Listen, that guy's not retired. Listen, I'll be absolutely shocked if Stanton retires.
agreed.
Like that man has like 60, what, to $70 million left on his contract. No way in hell. Probably
Yeah,
more. Actually, it's more than that, but there's no way in hell he retires. But like I said, then the Yankees stay athletic. I think the Yankees stay trying to get better defense. I really want to see Rice take DH, and I really want to see Peraza take third base. And I really want that lineup to just let those two players play. And I think the Yankees have an opportunity with Peraza, Jazz, and Volpe to have. three guys that can get you 25 plus stolen bases. And
Mm-hmm.
as a Yankee fan, I don't remember the last time that's happened. But like I said, there's question marks
I don't
in
know,
this
man.
lineup. I mean, I'll be honest with you, there's no question marks in this rotation or bullpen. I mean, they're so locked down
Oh
right there,
yeah,
man.
that's the one addition that they did so well on was the bullpen. They like solidify like it's probably the best bullpen in baseball. Along with the rotation, I mean I have my doubts on like or question like scariness of Rodon a little bit. Like sometimes he's nasty and untouchable, and then other times like everyone can hit him. So I don't get him. Maybe with the beard thing happening, he can grow it back and be dominant like he was with the White Sox. But outside of that, he's the only kind of question mark from Gil. I have confidence in Gil and who's the other guy?
Schmidt.
Schmidt. Yeah, I'm more confident in those two guys than Rodon just because Rodon is so up and down. And he's either really really good or really bad. Freed. I have nothing to say about Freed. He's awesome. I liked him since he was in Atlanta, and I'm surprised Atlanta didn't try to make a play for him, honestly. But I
Yeah.
understand they're so deep in their starting pitching, like they could have let him go. That's how good their pitching is that they can let someone like Max Fried, who's probably number one on a lot of teams, and they just let him walk because they're like, oh, we have Strider and Sale and all these other people. It's all good, which is insane to think. And then
Let
Cole,
me,
yep.
yeah, I mean, sorry, finish your thought with
No,
Cole.
just Cole is just Cole is Cole. Um, he's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I expect him to bounce back. Obviously, he was hurt a little bit towards the end of the season, so I expect him to be back to being Cole things here once the season starts. So I have nothing to say about Cole. The lineup a little worries me a tad, but I have confidence in the people in the lineup. So
Yeah, I just wanted to backtrack right now. I mean, we were talking about the Mets real fast. Just want to get like your insight. Where do you rank them right now in the NL East? I don't want to talk about the whole NL right now, just the NL East. Because me personally speaking, I kind of have Phillies still one. I mean, their pitching, like we said, was I mean, 1 through 5 is amazing.
yeah,
You know what you're getting from Harper, Castellanos, guys like Schwarber. I mean, Bohm, and you still got a great. I mean, Trey Turner. I almost forgot Trey Turner. Jesus.
and don't forget
Um,
JT.
JT.
And
I
they're
mean, like
talking,
I feel like there's still one.
yeah, and they're talking about moving JT to the outfield to
Yeah.
limit his catching limits
So like
games.
I
So
don't know if the Mets fall second for me or third. I think they fall third because I like the Braves a little more. But what do you think of that real fast?
the thing with the Mets that propels them against other team is their clubhouse culture. They are they're real connected. They look like when you see them, the Mets play, it's like a family playing more than like
Hmm.
just teammates. And I think that is what gets them over the game sometimes. It makes they make those great comebacks and stuff like that. So I do think that can transition and make other players around you better. So that's my high hope for the Mets. Is their culture is so great right now with like you said, Lindor at the forefront, and now having Soto. It's just gonna boost everyone's morale up. Um, Whether it works or not, I don't know. But like if we're talking strictly on paper, I do like you said, like the Phillies and the Braves a bit more. The Braves are just stacked up and down, where pitching and hitting wise, and then they always seem to have a rookie who's just phenomenal for some reason and comes in and bats 300s and hits 30 home runs. I don't get it, but they just always do. It just always happens. They always have some guy that comes out of nowhere who's just nasty, whether it's on the pitching side or on the hitting side. And then, like you said, the Phillies are they're world oil machine. They added like Ranger Suarez had a big season or a better season.
Yeah.
He keeps progressing, and then you have Wheeler and Nola, who's at the front of that rotation, and that's a tough rotation to beat. If you're looking at the Mets, especially when you have to play them so much, and then like you said, if the Braves are healthy offensively, it's not an easy team to beat. So like I said, I can push them at second. I can see that happening. I don't think they're the best team in the NL East. I can see an argument for them being the second best team or the third best team, but I don't think they're the best team in the NL East as of now, unless they make some pitching adjustments or trades. And he left.
Check. Hello.
Your camera turned off.
Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties on my camera.
It's all good.
I'm trying to get it back up. Um, Give me a sec. Some technical difficulties.
We're not the smartest when it comes to technology, that's for
Hey,
sure.
listen, man, it's episode 1. Okay, give us some time. We're gonna get better and better, better. Some time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I kind of like we said, we just did the NL East. So I kind of want to move over to the AL East as I'm trying to get this thing back up.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Yankees and what they made. The trades that I mean, first of all, the trades that the Yankees made this offseason were incredible.
Yep.
Getting guys like Devin Williams, Fernando Cruz.
I'm excited about that one so much.
I mean, Cody Bellinger, signing of Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, if they can capture Goldschmidt's second half and kind of keep that same player going, and I think he's good too. As I'm coming back live, give me 1 second on my camera.
Nah, I like what you said about like the trade with the Cincinnati Reds. Absolutely love that trade. He is disgusting. And just to be able to throw him in like in the sixth or seventh inning, he's not even our setup man. Is gonna be kind of scary. Yeah, you're back.
Guys.
But yeah, so he
But
definitely boosted our bullpen. We have a former MVP in Goldschmidt and Bellinger actually.
yeah,
Obviously, we're not expecting them to be MVP season. Bellinger's well capable of bringing that back out because he's still pretty young, and he was playing in Chicago and playing Chicago and New York with that short porch. Is he could have had like additional like 6, 7 home runs more.
yeah,
But I think playing in New York is gonna boost that morale of his, and I think he'll play better, especially hitting around Judge and Stanton whenever he comes back. Even Goldschmidt, he's a good bat to ball person, and he's just a clubhouse leader in Goldschmidt.
yeah.
Hopefully, having Goldschmidt makes us trade for Arenado. Maybe I don't know. You know how much I love Nolan, but it'll be cool. But obviously, I don't want to give up any of the young kids for Nolan as much as I like him. He's a
It just for Nolan, it really just comes down to the money, I think, for the Yankees.
mm-hmm.
I don't know, it was just like reporting like a couple days ago, the Yankees are out of the loop. Listen, I think the Yankees will make a trade like if the Cardinals eat some money.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only real way that you see it. Like I said, he has 3 years left. Yankees are not going to take that contract. So whether it's a Stroman flip for him this year and then they eat some money on the back end of that deal, or they eat some money and they take a prospect or two, that's the only way I see that deal happening. But like, yeah,
He's
I mean, I think you hit the nail right on the head. I mean, the Yankees bullpen is a lot better. They're a lot better defensively. I mean, listen, Yankee fans, close your ears, close your eyes. Game 5, in inning number 5. I mean, it had to happen. And as much as Soto's a great bat, he's also a bad defender. So way below league average defender. So I mean, he had a good year, but let's be honest, defensively when you talk about like assist and all that stuff. But yeah, we know what Soto really is in right field. But and that's nothing, like no shame on Soto. He's a great player, fantastic player, generational player. Yes, I mean it sucks, but I think the Yankees made. I think you lose something, but you also gain
yep.
parts to this ship. Like parts sometimes win you championship. You don't have to be this big juggernaut, Soto Judge, man. Sometimes piece everything together. Steal
Uh,
some bases, bunt some people over, get a base hit. Like
that's the Tampa way.
talking about Tampa, let's stay in the AL East. I mean, ain't
uh,
really do much,
yeah.
really.
Besides the Red Sox, I don't think much teams did anything. Besides, I know Toronto was in the loop of just about every top free agent that they didn't sign. Reminds me of the
I
Giants a
mean,
couple years ago, but like I said, they didn't do much.
to me, they're the dark horse in this AL East. I
Oh yeah, for
mean,
sure.
adding I mean, it all depends to me. The X factor is always going to be Boba What Boba
Hmm.
you're getting. You getting a 300 hitter or this Bo Bichette this past year? Um, but you had Santander, Jeff Hoffman, Max Scherzer to a 1 year deal.
Yep.
Very interesting deal for me in my head. Do you get Andres Jimenez to play second? I mean,
Yeah, and then you got Vlad, who's gonna be out to show the world what he's worth, because
you want that Soto money.
they could not get that extension through for him. So he's already been linked to like 1,000 teams. He already said I'm talking to everyone. So I mean, I expect that. I don't expect him to be like, no, I'm not playing for this team. But if you say like, I don't mind going back to the Yankees, everything's in the past. It's just to get
That,
the
that man's not gonna
negotiations.
be a Yankee.
Yeah, it's just to get the
And
negotiations out and put that price back up. That's all it was. Obviously, if he comes to the Yankees, that'd be awesome. But I don't see it happening.
yeah, me
Like I
neither.
said, the Blue Jays they're a good team. I think they'll be competitive, depending on obviously some of their starting pitching got hurt last year, so we'll see if they can stay healthy. And like you said, Bo Bichette, kind of depends which one you're gonna get. He's either really good or just average, which kind of sucks because he's a phenomenal
Hmm.
player when he's good. But we'll see. We'll see how they go. Tampa is gonna be Tampa. They're just always scrappy with some crazy starting pitching. Like I think McClanahan comes back this year, so
Yep.
I think their pitching staff is gonna be awesome. Obviously, questions on the offense as always, because you remember back in the days, their rotation was insane with Scott Kazmir and them boys.
Oh my God.
I used to ponder those people, but it was always their offense. They always have those scrappy hitters, but they just could never get it through. So
Yeah.
Tampa's always a scary team in my book because they just get the job done. They don't do anything
Yeah.
crazy. They just get the job done. And then obviously the Red Sox made some big moves as well.
We're gonna go Orioles then to my opinion, the Yankees' biggest probably in this AL East. The Red Sox, their biggest probably their rival, yes, but they were gonna be 1-2 all year. But let's do Orioles first. I don't understand a goddamn thing these guys did.
I don't
I
know. I don't
really
understand
don't.
what they didn't do. Like, how do you
That's
not?
the thing.
I didn't sign their guy back. They just let him walk.
They let Burns, Santander, Eloy, who they traded for during the trade deadline. Like, listen, I get it. Eloy is not the one hit the hitter everyone thought he was going to be, but you kind of got to keep that guy too,
Yeah,
just in
it's
case. John Means, let's go. I mean, they signed Tyler O'Neill to replace Santander. All right, cool. You bring the right field. They're bringing left field back in to, hit some more home runs. But I mean, dude, you just let Burns walk. That's your starting pitching right there.
that was your horse.
Yeah, it would have been him, Grayson Rodriguez, and then now it's just
Yeah, I think as great as that infield is and that offense is, I think they took a huge step back pitching wise and offensive wise.
yeah,
I don't. I mean, they could compete. I don't see it though. With the Yankees getting better and Boston getting better, and then you have Tampa getting all their guys back, and even the Blue Jays, like you said, if Bobichet's Bobichet, they're looking at third, fourth in the East, to be honest. And it
yeah,
sucks for them being such a top team the last couple of years and watching them fall off like that. I mean, for us as Yankee fans is awesome, but as a baseball fan, it's not, because watching a team like Baltimore compete in the playoffs and stuff like that is exciting.
yeah. They have
So
so many young players, man,
I don't understand
up
when
and coming.
when you have Gunner and those boys and Adley is like, you want to keep them there and build on that, and they just letting people like Corbin Burns, a top pitcher in the whole MLB, like maybe top five, top three in the last couple of years,
Yeah,
and you just let them walk is kind of insane. So
like right now,
I don't like what they did at all this offseason.
yeah, right now you're probably going Grayson Allen, Charlie Morton, Zach Eflin, who not horrible pitchers, but they're not Corbin Burns. And then your 4 and 5, you're kind of figuring out right now.
Exactly.
You'll probably get Felix Bautista back, maybe Cano. I mean, their bullpen is lights out. I mean,
Yeah.
Felix Bautista, Yannick Cano, Seranthony Dominguez, and then Ketteridge. Sorry, but like you said, their offense should be great. I mean, Adley, Montcastle, Holiday. I mean,
It's kind of I think the Orioles on the AL side is kind of like the Mets. I think the Mets are a little better, but it's similar where they didn't do anything to their pitching, but they buster.
disagree.
Okay. Yeah, but like I said,
Yeah,
they added pieces to their offense. They didn't do nothing for starting pitching, and their bullpen is way better. But like
yeah,
their offense is gonna carry them along with their bullpen. I don't think they have a starting pitcher where you go out and be like, "Hey, get me this game." They don't have that guy yet. Uh,
yeah.
and
I get that.
yeah, and I think their offense is really good. So I think their offense is gonna carry them to a lot of victories along with the bullpen. If they can stay close in the game and give the offense opportunity and the bullpen opportunity, I think they do win some games. But I still think they're a couple of steps behind the Red Sox and the Yankees at least.
Agreed. I think right now the Orioles are a little. I feel like they'll get their pit. They got pretty decent pitching. They have better pitching, I think, than the Mets right now. Like I mean, Grayson Rodriguez, who probably, he's good when he's on, and then
Right.
I just think their offense it has so much potential.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but I mean, again, let's see right now. Right now, breaking camp right now, it's got to keep everyone healthy. But
Yep.
let's move on to the final team in the AL East, and then we'll probably wrap this up and then get into the Central and West to the next stream.
I mean,
Go
yeah. I
AL
mean,
Central,
we
NL Central.
can. I don't think there was any other big moves besides all the people and players the
Yeah,
Dodgers signed. That can take up like 2 hours because they signed
they
everyone.
signed the whole league.
But
God damn.
I mean, we could talk about the
Listen,
Dodgers briefly. I don't. There's not much to say.
yeah. I
There's not
mean,
much to say.
I want to get into the another winner for me personally speaking, the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I feel like when baseball's on, like any sport, when your top teams are doing good and they're competitive, I think that's when the sport shines the most.
Mhm.
I mean, Red Sox getting Crochet to shore up that rotation, Bregman
Yep.
putting, I mean, him and Devers says he wants to stay at third. It's
It's
a
a
little
little.
tricky right now.
It's a
I
little.
think Bregman will probably stay at second. Bueller, Patrick Sandoval, who's a good lefty, Chapman to show up that bullpen with Justin Wilson and Giovanni Moran for the bullpen. Listen,
Don't forget.
Boston could be scary, man.
Don't forget they still got Liam Hendricks in there. People forget that he's still there,
D-
but he was a top closer a couple years ago. So
I wonder what the Red Sox do with Trevor Story now with the Bregman edition. I'm not 100% sure what they're gonna do with him, but don't
I
forget
mean,
about him either. I mean, that guy was a great hitter too. I mean, he's been a lot. I mean, he's been very, very hurt of late. But I really like what the Red Sox did this year. I mean, this offseason. I think, I mean, their pitching should be lights. I mean, close to lights out. I mean, I think they're a step. Uh, I would say a step behind the Yankees starting pitching.
mhm.
But again, you add Crochet. I worry about innings and health with him. I mean, he has such a his windup like to the plate is just so I don't know. It's weird to me. I don't know how he generates that much power, but I worry about health with him. I worry about innings with him. But again, it should be a very, very fun AL East
Yeah.
with these two teams at the top, but Orioles and Toronto kind of being right there with it, depending on if they get some help
Yeah.
from some pieces that were struggling last year, like Bo Bichette and stuff like that. So that AL East should be very, very entertaining once again.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, even with the Orioles taking a little step back, the Red Sox took a big step forward. So it just makes it more competitive now. And like you said, that's when baseball at its best when all the teams are close, and usually that's always the AL East, the NL East. The NL Central is always like that as well.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be exciting. If they can get Story back to remotely close to maybe what he used to be, it's definitely a scary lineup. Because Story's like a 30-30 guy when he's on his game.
Especially with that green monster right there, man, just
Yeah,
peppering off of it, man.
he's definitely scary. But they got the young guns in Duran and stuff like that as well. So I think it's gonna be a very good team. I think all this third base nonsense is just news to make news. I'm pretty sure Devers is gonna play third. Bregman's just
Yeah,
gonna go to second. I mean, I looked that up last year because I thought I was like, dang, is he really that bad of a defender? And it was like he had 2 more errors than Bregman. And that was about it. Obviously, he doesn't have the range and stuff, but
it's the range.
it was nothing crazy. Like it's not like he's terrible. He's pretty good. I've seen him play plenty of times, and he made some crazy plays against us.
Yeah,
I just think it's just something to
it's
make some noise about something.
yeah. I agree. I mean, I think honestly speaking, I mean, you Devers is the face of that franchise. You don't mess with the face of the franchise. Like, if you want to play third, bro. I mean, it's not like Gleyber Torres last year when Jazz came over. He should never have called that shot. Like, leave Devers there. If it doesn't work out, then you could swap them. Probably put Devers a little more in DH first base. Um, but like I said, that team should be very, very, very interesting. I like that team. I think, like I said, I got the Yankees still one. But like I said, the Red Sox will make it very interesting, like they normally do.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, I agree. Especially if you get Walker Buehler from like 2, 3 years ago.
even the
Yeah.
Walker Buehler you saw in the World Series against the Yankees, if you get that guy, I mean, it's just like, whoa. I mean,
Yeah, it's definitely a good team. Especially I don't know what I mean. Giolito hasn't been good in a couple of years as well, but like I said, something about putting Red Sox uniform on, they just become better for some reason. Like they just suck, and then they go to the Red Sox, and then they're great again. So I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of like the whole Braves thing. When people go to the Braves, they just like Chris Sale. Like he was with the Red Sox for a little bit. He had a couple good years and a couple down years, and then he goes wins the Cy Young. It was just
Cy Young.
like, what are y'all doing over there in Atlanta? Your pitchers are just always good. But yeah, it's gonna be
Yeah,
exciting. I'm excited for baseball finally coming back here shortly. You know, it's a lot of games. I understand some people get bored of watching them,
I
but
don't.
that's what I'm saying. I don't.
Unless
But
unless the Yankees are versing like the Oakland A's. But even the Oakland A's made a lot of moves this offseason.
they kind of had to spend money, or else they wouldn't get that stadium. So they were kind of
Yeah, that
forced.
is also true.
But yeah, I think we hit up on a lot of the moves. Obviously the
Yeah.
Dodgers made a crap ton of moves. We can talk hours on their moves, but obviously their team is
Yeah.
even more
I
stacked
wa
and better.
Yeah, I do want to save the AL Central and the AL West. I mean the Central and the West on both sides of the divisions and the conferences for another day. I kind of want to go Central. I want to be able to deep dive a little bit on some of these teams like the Guardians. I mean, I think what the Royals did was good, but I kind of saved that for another day. I think the AL East, AL and NL East are going to probably be your top two divisions
Yep.
in baseball in interest. But yeah, I mean, listen, let's wrap episode one.
Oh,
Yeah,
episode
episode
one.
one.
Yeah, the first day. Uh,
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of
I mean,
fun topics.
yeah, a lot of fun topic, honestly speaking. Um, Anything to say to the people, man?
No, thanks for everyone who's watching live. If you're not watching live and you couldn't catch the live stream, we're obviously gonna upload the video to YouTube so you guys can catch it on there as well. If there's anything you guys want to touch on, or if you want to argue about it with us, we're down for that too. If you have any different perspectives, let us know. I'm happy to hear some of your ideas or perspective on some of the trades that went down in MLB or things going on in the NBA with the standings and the play-in coming up. If you guys have any teams you want us to dive in on, or any teams that are shockers to you guys, just let us know. Let us know what teams are your favorite, so we kind of know what our audience is as well. If you guys have a specific favorite team, like the Oakland A's or something like that, it's not. I don't see them being crazy good this year either. But if it's something you guys enjoy watching and that's your favorite team, I'll be happy to talk about some Brett, you know. But and then same thing on the gaming side. There's some games coming out that you guys are interested in. I'll be happy to check those out as well. I know not everyone's a Call of Duty fan, but it's kind of what we're into. So we're gonna talk about because it's CDL season right now, and there isn't. I know Halo's about to start picking up soon, but I don't know
Yeah.
if a lot of people keep up with Halo. But if you guys want us to talk about stuff, we can do that. We're pretty well versed. But let us know your favorite teams. Give us some topics if you guys think of some topics to talk about, or questions, or how we feel about a certain thing, or player, or team, or move, or whatever. I think that's pretty much I have for them.
Um, Same thing. Yeah, same thing you said. Drop comments. Let me know your favorite teams. Who you rooting for? Um, like we said, we talked early into the show about basketball. I want to know. Listen, who you guys got going into the finals? Who's your one? Who's like your biggest sleeper going into the finals? Who you guys got winning the finals? Um, I do got a question for Steve.
Ooh, okay.
I need you to open up your Spotify. I need you to give me a song of the day, man.
Oh,
Like
okay.
we don't
Damn.
gotta play it, copyrights
Oh,
issues, you know what I'm saying? But I just need to know what's your song of the day because I got mine right now.
okay. So I wasn't
You
ready
want me
for
to go
this.
first, or you want you? I'll go first since you wasn't ready.
No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit my playlist and I'm gonna hit shuffle, and the first song that comes up is what I'm just gonna say.
Okay, gotcha.
So here we go. All right, and shuffle, and the first song that comes up. Oh, this is a. I don't know if people gonna know this one, but it's "Ill Mind" of Hobson 8.
Okay,
It's not the one you're thinking of, but it came out a while ago.
okay,
Hobson hasn't dropped in like forever,
yeah.
but it's the one where I think he disses his label or his old label or something. I think that's the 8 one. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm not sure. I haven't heard it in a while, but that's the song that came up, so that's what I'm going with.
All right, I got Bruno Mars, Treasure.
You see, diversity. That's two totally different artists with two totally different mindsets is kind of funny. But yeah, so we have Hobson and Bruno Mars. If there's any songs you guys are listening to right now and want us to check out, we can do that as well. I'm always open to some new music
Yeah, of course,
or
man.
something I haven't heard before as well. But yeah, Hobson was a weird one to come up out of all the artists I have on this playlist.
Um, but like Steve said, let's wrap this up. Like, share, comment, share with your dog, share with your neighbor, whatever you want to do. Very excited for episode 2.
Mhm.
Links will be in the description for this, our main Twitches where we game off of right before we get on this stream. Probably playing some Marvel Rivals tomorrow,
Mhm.
hopefully. Weekend coming up. We got Call of Duty, we got some NBA. Mitchell Robinson, if you're a Knick fan, is coming back, so that's great. Cat's hopefully playing tomorrow too. Kind of seeing the Knicks probably get into the full swing of things with their full roster. A lot of good NBA coming up right now. Playoffs, baseball, spring training, keeping our eyes on our Yankees, to be honest with you. But like I said, very exciting times right now. Football draft is about to start, so very, very interesting times right now in sports, seeing what's gonna happen. And of course, man, Call of Duty. Minor.
Yep. And Tank Davis, if anybody wants to know, who's fighting this weekend. Didn't know. Just found that out a couple of days ago, and I was like, huh, I didn't know he was fighting. Who is he fighting? I don't know. But he's
That's the
fighting
thing
someone.
about Boston. I mean, boxing, man. It's the thing.
I was just like, huh, Tank's fighting. Who's he fighting? I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name, but I was just like, it ain't a big name. So I was just like, I'll probably watch it. Probably not. I don't know. But we'll see. But yeah, probably do episode 2 sometime this weekend. Not tomorrow for sure. Probably Saturday. We'll tap into the new episode just so we can have some. We should have 2 sets of CDL matches, more basketball in there, some more baseball news. I would assume populates between those couple days. with March 1st
Yeah.
right around the corner. So I think Saturday will probably be our next live stream episode. So until then, hit up those likes, comments, subscribe. Let us know if there's any if there's any things you guys want to tap into, or if you guys want to just drop some questions and we can tackle them, or some topics that we can do. I'll be totally down to answer some of you guys' questions. And like E said, just share it. Let's get these live streams chatting up, because that would make it so much more entertaining if we had you guys in here. I know we do this kind of late, but if you guys want us to do it a little earlier, we can try that and see how it works. But I don't want the Rugrats running around the background yelling up a storm trying to talk sports. It won't be as fun. They're a little loud, so I kind of gotta wait for them to go to bed. But if you guys want it a little earlier, we can try to work that out as well. So just let us know what you guys want. I guess I'm good to go. I'll call it
One more thing. Hold on. Fourth
Mhm.
quarter, 7 minutes to go. Lakers up 92-86. So
Close game.
if you're here live on the live, go. Let's finish watching that game because I am. LeBron has 27 with 15 rebounds and 5 assists. Austin Reeves has 26 and 5. Luka has 13, 11 and 5.
Jeez.
Anthony Edwards 18, 6 and 5. Off the bench, Terrence Shannon Jr. 21. Listen, that's a very good game right now. The Timberwolves came back, but listen, said it again. Let's say it again. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, man. Links abajo, under us. Click them, subscribe, follow us on our Twitches, watch this game, man. Let's have some fun, man. Episode 2 soon.
All right. Love y'all later. And that wraps it up for episode 1 of the Sandlot Bros Season 1. So we'll see y'all on episode 2. Have a great rest of your night. Thank you for everyone that joined the live stream. And we're looking forward to your comments on the video once it's posted. So hopefully we'll catch you guys on the next live stream. We'll see y'all Saturday. Thank you.